The opening two sprint stages of Catalunya have been quite tricky, including for GC contenders Almeida and Lipovic caught out familiar roads for many of the peloton from Figueres to Banyoles. These are routes and roads that the riders that live in Girona will have done many, many times. Twisty, we got to climb. It's not that hard, but it's just the twisting and the up and down and the pressure of trying to catch a very strong breakaway, because look who's lined up on the front row. It's 2026 Breakaway breakout star Baptiste Verstroffer, and he gets in the break with a teammate. NSN and Ineos, they were monitoring who would get in the break, but yes, it's Liam Slock, also very strong so far this year with Verstroffer, Uriarte in the breakaway. Jan Hirt for NSN controlling. It's a good finish for Ethan Vernon, a slightly uphill sprint, not as hard as yesterday that was won by Dorian Godon. It's more for the sprinters, and the sprinters shouldn't be getting dropped on this stage. But because the breakaway was so strong, and it was now down to Uriarte, Verstroffer, and Liam Slock, they had a lot of trouble catching it because they were motoring. You look at him, he's built for the breakaway. And so we've got more teams chasing. EF for their Neo-Pro sprinter Noah Hobbs, Sudar Quickstep with Junior Lesurf for Alberto Dainese, Alberson probably going for Ulich, but they also have Busato. It was strange in the break, though. Like, Slock and Uriarte on the hills would drop Verstroffer. Uriarte was getting cooked, and I don't know if they were playing a game with him because he wasn't pulling enough for their liking, but Verstroffer comes back. This is what he also did in Tour Down Under. He starts pulling again, but unfortunately for him, the GC team start getting nervous. Red Bull with Catania for Remco, Armirail for Visma for Vingegaard. Bahrain have got two options. They're positioning maybe Lenny, but also they want to bring the break back so Govakar can sprint. And again, Verstroffer goes clear. And I don't know, do they waste energy here working over Uriarte? Would it have made a difference at the finish? He gets caught pretty late, but probably not. But still, it was a little bit strange. Those two keep working. But because they go so deep into the stage, 1 minute with 20Ks to go, a lot of guys already spent. Pierre-Andre Cotte is pulling for NSN. I thought he was going to be part of the lead out. So NSN had to invest a lot of resources. A lot of teams had to invest a lot of resources to bring the break back. It's then been a pretty hard stage. That means their lead outs are tired. A lot of these teams don't really have proper lead outs in the first place. Like Ineos have a team of climbers, basically, and they're trying to bring the break back so Dorian Godon gets the opportunity to sprint. But you look at it, was in a line for 30Ks. It was in an absolute line, twisting descents. George Bennett smashing it for NSN. If you're behind that, you're like, you're hundreds and hundreds of meters from the front of the peloton. Then there's a crash. Henry Ulich goes down. Unfortunately, he has to abandon the race. He was in the top 10 yesterday for Alpecin Premier Tech, and that causes a split. You see here, there's big groups all over the road. I don't know if there's going to be crosswinds tomorrow, but it's been a pretty hard race so far. And we're wondering who's in that group. There's no motorbikes in between. We don't see for quite a while, but because the groups are so big, this is the peloton, the front group. It's quite a big gap being led by, I think that's the purple of Jaco Alula. We're wondering who is in there, who's missed out. We see Visma and they're not dropping back, so probably Vingegaard's in front. A third group makes connection to that other group, but that's bubbled up now. And the front can't stop pacing. They're trying to catch the break. It's Lipovic and Almeida were caught in Group 2. Lipovic tries to sprint across to the group ahead. And so, yeah, Bora were obviously more keen on positioning Remco, but in the end, it was it always coming back? Yeah, probably. They weren't going to keep that group behind. Also, other teams were pacing in it. And it comes back together. Liam Slock gets delivered by Verstroffer for the last 3Ks to try and hold 10 seconds. Probably not going to be enough, especially with the uphill finish. But the fatigue of the stage, had the crash, the stress, so maybe some lead-outs even had to do work to sew that up, meant that small lead-outs are here. And if you look at who comes top 5, 4 of the top 5 teams in this finish have one lead-out rider and are in the front bubble, being UnoX, Quickstep, UAE, and Alpecin for Busato. So being in front early was obviously the play. Isadora was the exception. Godon didn't have anyone to move him up. He was way too deep at this point. Dainese a little bit too deep as well, because Soler leads out Ivo Oliveira. There's a key left-hand corner late. Magnus Cort, he lets the wheel of his lead-out man go here. He doesn't want to be second wheel through that corner. He doesn't want to be there too early. Ethan Vernon, he's right there. He looks like he's in good position. He's right on the wheel of Magnus Cort. Cort is going to use this left-hand corner to position himself onto about 4th or 5th wheel, fighting the wheel of Oliveira off Isidore. Vernon loses. He must have lost a few positions or he was cooked. He's still in an okay position in front of Dainese here. Soler can't close the Uno-X lead out. He drops the wheel. Oliveira takes the bait. I think Vernon just didn't have it today because Gilmore's in front of him. Godon was also dragging him back up if he had the legs. Oliveira gives the lead up to Cort. Cort waits for it to level off. He launches it with 150 to go. With Isidore on the wheel, Bussato there. Godon, no one basically makes up ground on each other. They're just, at the end of their sprints, they're all having to sit down. And Magnus Cort wins the stage. Big win for him. Ahead of Isidore. Godon, he had to sew up that gap. That cost him his sprint. He brought up Dainese in the wheel, but then he sort of stalled it around Bussato. Maybe he could have nabbed third if he cared. Probably not. But yeah, Cort holds on ahead of Isidore, Bussato, Godon, Dainese, Silva, Hobbs, Oliveira, Arts, and Dara. Here's what he had to say.
It was a difficult stage, I think, coming down from Olot with a lot of course, fight for positions on the downhill, and I don't like it too much, so I was a bit far back, but the team kept believing in me, and I don't know how they succeeded, but Scor said he piloted me from the last position to the first position from, 3 to 1.5K to go, and then I had Anton to do the very last bit, and so that was amazing. Really good teamwork.
You had told us that you may have wished to come to the Volta Catalunya 3 or 4 times before, but you never had the chance. I guess it's an extra benefit to come here and on your second day take a win, right?
Of course. In Catalunya you have many similar stages to this. It's sprint in reduced groups, which suits me well, so that's why I've wanted to come here for many years. But finally I'm here, and I'm very excited to win. And this is a place I know very well. When first I turned pro, I was living in Girona for quite a few years, and I still love coming here for training camps. And I've been on this road a million times on rest days. It's a perfect rest day ride to go up here and take a bath in the lake. So for me it's like winning at home.
Tomorrow's stage is another sprint. Maybe it's pretty hard. There's a 10k 6% climb at the start. I think we'll have a good breakaway. Andreas Leknesson will be in it, and he might win the stage solo. Until then, ciao ciao.